Abby, I remember you said something about seeing your dad soon. When is it again?
To visit a hospital? I was going to see him the day after tomorrow. Why?
I thought I'd tag along. I haven't been able to make time to see him in a long time.
Oh, it's so sweet of you. I think he would be very happy to see you. But I'm a bit surprised you'd suggest anything like that.
Why would you be? I do care for your father, in case you didn't know.
I know you do, honey. I'm very thankful that you do. But you have work that day, don't you? Are you going to take the day off?
My office is close to the hospital, so I will use my lunch break to come see him. I won't be able to stay that long, though.
Oh, that's not a problem. I will let him know and ask him to try to stay away around lunch.
Does he sleep a lot during the day now? Is his condition that bad?
Kind of. He sleeps most of the day recently. I haven't been able to speak to him much either because he is barely awake whenever I see him. I think it's because of what the doctor told me. It means he is losing his strength.
I see. I hope he gets better soon. My parents send their regards too.
Thank you.
Oh, one more thing. I have a favor to ask. Will you help me?
A favor? What is it?
I'd like to borrow some money from your dad, and I want to talk to him about it, but I don't want to be rude, so will you ask him with me?
What? Why do you need money? Did you do something?
No, it's not me. My parents have some sort of loan. I want to help them pay it off, but I don't have enough. But your dad has all his investments and all that, so I was wondering if he'd be able to help.
Luke, I don't think that's very appropriate. He is very ill right now. Now is not the time to talk about money.
I don't have any other options. The payment is due in a matter of days.
That's their problem. I'm sorry, but my father has nothing to do with it. If you really want to help them, I think it should be from us, not from my dad. If that's the case, I can help.
I wouldn't ask your dad if I could help them myself.
Is the loan that big? How much do they need?
I think about $30,000.
30 grand? I know your parents are big spenders. Did they splurge on something unplanned?
No, they wouldn't do that. What the hell do you take my parents for?
Well, I have my reasons to be suspicious of them. Anyway, you can't ask my dad. He is ill, for God's sake. Don't say anything ridiculous.
But Abby, they could get in real trouble.
Will you think about how my father would feel? He will be very sad to find out that you only paid him a visit to ask for money. Sorry, but it's a firm no.
Well then, I won't. But do you think you can when you think it's best? I mean, preferably as soon as possible.
Okay, we will discuss this another time. But I mean it when I say you can't ask him, or else you cannot visit him.
Fine.
Luke, what the hell was that? I told you not to.
I'm sorry, but you weren't helping. If you had asked in the first place, I wouldn't have today.
How dare you? And why the hell did your parents show up? You cornered my father. You shouldn't have brought them.
My parents are the ones who need the money. It's appropriate that they ask in person.
So you want to talk about manners? What do you think about cornering a bedridden man for money, huh? Have you no shame?
Like I said, we don't have any other option. And what's wrong with your dad? How can he be such a cheapskate when he has so much money? We asked politely.
Excuse me? You've got some nerve to complain. He refused to lend your parents any money because he couldn't understand why your parents need it. They were not clear about why they have such a big loan suddenly.
His family is in dire need. All he cared about was how many parents ended up like that, or if they even really had any loan to pay off. How rude can he be?
The only rude people in that room were you three. You guys stormed into his room and barely said hello before you started to talk about money. Yet, you can't even answer why you need it? Give us a break.
That's what I mean by cheapskate. A real man wouldn't ask and just hand out money to be needy. So stingy. My parents were so disappointed.
You're the one who is disappointing. I had been clear about not asking him. You broke that promise.
I did what was necessary to help my parents. But your dad refused to help them despite his wealth. I am so ashamed to call someone so selfish my father-in-law. I guess money couldn't buy him compassion.
You know what? We should get a divorce. Then you won't have to be related to him anymore.
Are you being serious?
I don't care if we do. What you did to my father is worth a divorce.
I won't take you back even if you regret it later. You understand that?
Oh, don't worry. I do. I will call my lawyer now and have him prepare the documents immediately. You should call your lawyer too.
Fine then. I will. I'll even sign the papers right away. Don't come back to me crying. Hello, Abby? You're still mad? When are you coming home?
I thought we were both ready to get a divorce. How can you act like this is all well?
Yeah, well, you know the whole divorce thing fell through. You agreed to hold it off afterwards.
I agreed to hold it off because my father was in critical condition and I didn't have time for you. I can sign the papers right now and go file it at court.
Don't be so cold. I got a little heated. You know, spur of the moment. You shouldn't have brought up a divorce in the first place.
Spur of the moment? You signed the papers before you even read them.
I wasn't thinking clearly. You know I love you. And I know you love me too. We would be such fools to let anger drive us towards a divorce.
Whatever, Luke. I'm busy right now. I don't know when my dad will worsen again. I agreed to hold it off, but I won't be returning home.
He's been fine for a couple of days now. Why don't you come home and relax for a bit?
The doctor warned me. He said his body could give in any time, so there's no relaxing for me right now.
Why can't you care for me a little, huh? I've been living off frozen pizza for days. I'm so sick of it. I don't get to eat anything decent when you're not home.
You really don't care about anyone else but yourself. My father is dying. Take care of your goddamn self.
Why should I care for him? He refused to help my parents. I'm not going to raise one finger for that cheapskate.
You are unbelievable. You should get some help. Really.
But it is all his fault. We asked so politely. By the way, don't bother to invite us to his funeral. We don't give a damn about him.
Seriously? You are still his son-in-law.
I married you, not him. He's not a real relative. He chose to be a stranger to us when he refused to lend us money.
How pathetic. He'd be so sad to hear all this.
I said I don't care. Anyway, come home already. I don't have all day to ask nicely, you know. You need to do what is required of a wife.
Oh my gosh, I have to go.
Huh? What is it to prioritize above your husband?
My dad is crashing again. I don't have time to talk to you. If you want to come, help yourself.
Hell no. Like I said, I won't be attending his funeral either. Just come home when things are over, okay? Good luck. Hey, Abby. How have you been? You must be tired from everything. From the funeral to cleaning up his house and all.
What do you want?
So feisty. You haven't been home in so long. I've been worried about you, you know? You handled everything on your own, right?
Yes, because the man I used to call my husband provided zero support. Nor did he show up to his father-in-law's funeral.
At least I told you beforehand that I wouldn't be attending. Anyway, I'm glad everything is done and over with. So, when are you coming home? I really miss your cooking.
Funny. You are actually hilarious.
Come on, don't be so sarcastic. So is it true? Did your dad really leave you $100 million?
Where the hell did you get that from? You're not supposed to know.
Some of your relatives really like to gossip. But I mean, $100 million? We would have so much even after paying off my parents' loan. Should we buy a house?
We are not buying any house. We are divorced and not related anymore. I have nothing to do with your parents' loan. Please handle it yourself.
What are you talking about? We decided to hold off on that, remember? Stop playing around.
You mean you don't recall signing the papers? You know I kept the papers. It was up to me whether I file it or not.
What? I never agreed to anything. I told you it was all spur of the moment.
But you signed it, didn't you? You even said that you won't take me back. So I went ahead and countersigned the papers. I don't see what the problem is.
You can't still be mad at me, Abby. Is this about your dad? All right, I'm sorry. Don't hand the papers in, honey.
I told you. It's been filed already. In fact, they were filed the day after you said you are not attending my father's funeral. Everything is too late, Luke.
You better be joking. You just want the money to yourself. You will not get away with this.
Get away with what, exactly? Keeping what was bestowed to me? What makes you think you are entitled to anything of what my father left?
You will pay me consolation money. I'm sure you have enough. You'll also pay off my parents' loan.
You are so dumb, Luke. Why in the world would I do that? I do not have a single penny to spare you or your parents.
You filed the papers without me knowing? I never gave you permission to do that. You'll pay for what you've done.
No, I will not. I have absolutely no fault. You should blame yourself for signing at the spur of the moment.
Then let's get married again. It's inevitable that the papers were filed, but we can redo our marriage. We still love each other. Our divorce is all a misunderstanding.
Nice try. But I will not be wasting another second on someone who thinks of my father as some sort of money tree. I wish someone would pay me for being your wife for this long, actually.
Don't push me away, Abby. I was only trying to help my parents. I was in a panic, you see? I wasn't myself.
Yes, I see.
You get it, right? Then let's get married again. We can enjoy ourselves for the rest of our lives with your dad's money.
I see that this is the true you, Luke. All along, you've been hiding who you really are. You only showed me your good side. I'm so glad that I see the real side now.
No, that's not what I mean. Why don't you understand? I need you in my life, Abby. Please don't leave me.
It's the money you need, not me. I will not be an exclusive ATM to you or your parents. Go figure out your own problem. I'm sure it will be difficult for someone as irresponsible as you to take care of your also irresponsible parents. But hey, good luck! I quickly deleted him from my smartphone after our last conversation. I really did have the divorce papers filed earlier, so I am glad to say that I have no relation to him now. I made several sneak visits to the house to pick up my stuff while Luke wasn't home, and also sold my father's property shortly after. I used what my father left me to move away and start a new life, so I don't think I will ever see Luke again. I heard from a common friend that Luke now lives with his parents. Their loan has become even bigger than it was before, because they keep spending money irresponsibly. Because of that, Luke now works day and night to help them pay it off. But I don't think it will ever end though. Unless his parents learn how to manage their finances. Luke should have realized that he needed to control his parents before asking anyone for money. But honestly, I couldn't care less how they end up.